What if everything you were taught about the Cold War was a lie? For over a century, the West has claimed to fight for freedom. Yet time and time again, it's sided with tyranny. From betraying Catholic Spain to selling out Cuba, from abandoning Poland to empowering communist China. The truth is darker than most history books dare to admit. This explosive exposé uncovers the pattern. Small Blue Diamond defending Stalin, but not his victims. Small Blue Diamond supporting communist revolutions over pro-Western resistance. Small Blue Diamond silencing anti-communists while praising totalitarian liberators. Why were Franco's Spain, Pinochet's Chile, and Batista's Cuba demonized, while the atrocities of Mao, Castro, and the USSR were excused or ignored? Collision, it wasn't fear. It was design. This video tells the story that academia, Hollywood, and mainstream history suppressed. The West's repeated betrayal of faith, freedom, and truth in favor of ideological convenience. What if I told you that America's greatest threat during the Cold War wasn't the Soviet Union across the ocean, but the agents of that empire already inside our government? In American Betrayal, journalist Diana West reveals a chilling truth. One too dangerous, too inconvenient, and too buried for decades. The United States was not merely targeted by communism. It was penetrated, corrupted, and, in many cases, controlled by it. This isn't conspiracy theory. It's history, documented, footnoted, and ignored. From the 1930s through the height of World War II and deep into the Cold War, Soviet agents and sympathizers infiltrated every branch of our federal government, the State Department, the Treasury, even the White House itself. They weren't just spies stealing secrets. They were policymakers shaping U.S. decisions in ways that served Stalin, not Roosevelt. Moscow, not Washington. Names like Alger Hiss, Harry Dexter White, and Lachlan Curry, all exposed later as Soviet assets, were not on the margins. They were inside the room. They influenced wartime strategy. They redirected aid. They protected Soviet interests. And they helped deliver Eastern Europe into the iron grip of the Kremlin at Yalta. West argues that these betrayals weren't just accidents of espionage. They were part of a sustained ideological cover-up, enabled by an American elite too enamored with the idea of Soviet progress and too afraid to admit the scale of the infiltration. When Senator McCarthy began to uncover the truth, he was destroyed. Not because he was wrong, but because he was too right. West shows how historians, journalists, and even our own intelligence agencies helped bury the evidence, mock the witnesses, and rewrite the record. The result? A nation that still doesn't understand how deeply it was compromised. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This book is not just about the past. It is about the present danger of forgetting. Diana West forces us to ask, what happens when a nation cannot admit its own betrayal? What happens when the truth is treated as treason? Soviet assault in America. That the U.S. government was deeply penetrated by Soviet agents during the Roosevelt administration, and that key wartime decisions, including those about Japan, Germany, and military strategy, were distorted to benefit Stalin, not America. Here's what she asserts about each of the topics you mentioned. Japan on the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, 1941. West does not claim that communists planned Pearl Harbor, but she strongly suggests that U.S. officials were willfully blind to Japanese intentions, and even more so to the Soviet Union's broader goals. Her argument is that attention was deliberately diverted away from Stalin, and that communist sympathizers within the U.S. government shaped intelligence and policy to favor a war that would benefit the USSR. Suppression of intelligence about Japa.